Hello, welcome to Spiritual Revelations Tarot. Today, we want to ask Spirit, how can we persevere in an evil society? I'm going to do these readings for earth signs, water signs, air signs, and fire signs. I'm going to start off with earth signs. All right, so let's get started. Spirit, how can we persevere in an evil society? For the earth signs, how can earth signs persevere through an evil society? All right. How can earth signs persevere through an evil society? Earth signs. How can earth signs persevere in an evil society? Okay, Spirit. How can earth signs persevere in an evil society? How can earth signs? All right, I'm going to take those. Some fell on the floor. I'm going to take the ones on the table. All right. Spirit says, a perfect storm. You need to have the courage to step into life during this perfect storm. All right. Mindful group tank. All right. And many masks, the authentic self. Okay. So how can earth signs navigate in an evil society? All right, let's take a look. 44. Where's my sheet here? 44 breaks down to an 8. An 8 represents strength. So we need to have the strength to pull through this perfect storm. Let's take a closer look here. The courage to step into life. We need to have the strength. Let's take a look. The perfect storm is an invitation to act now. The courage to step into life during this perfect storm. Sheltering from turbulence. Okay. When the perfect storm appears, it cautions you to be ready for an exciting, if turbulent time. The winds are picking up, and you need to make sure that you are close to the eye of the storm, or you will be buffeted by gusts that may take you far from where you need to be. The key is to remain centered and balanced and bear witness as the forces build in intensity. So, in this evil society, the forces are gaining momentum. Notice the loose stuff is starting to fly around and recognize how little of it truly you need. Let go of those thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes that clutter your heart and cloud your mind. Then the storm with such it will be absolutely perfect for you. If you wonder what you might lose during the perfect storm, know that it is those things we are most attached to that are taken first. Let it all go with the wind, but not individuals. Remember that every time you try to argue with nature, you lose. But we are not. Yes, we are being bombarded by nature and man. The perfect storm can also be a call for you to seize the moment. All right. So we are currently in a perfect storm. And look at the image of this bird with his heart, with its heart open. We all sympathize with everyone who is going through this storm currently. And also, the bird is looking at what is coming while it perches itself on a branch or tree above what's happening below. So, this bird has the foresight. It can see more than we can being on the ground. All right, the next card is mindful, which is 40. That breaks down to 4, the emperor. We have to be the emperor, the leader within our circles to protect one another, to bond together as a group tank, to succeed during this storm, to come up with ideas, strategies to make it through the storm. And last card is many masks. In an evil society, we have to wear different masks. All right. We have to hide our authentic self behind these masks. However, way these masks are used. Why? Because people are in fear of revealing themselves right now. Okay. Let me see here. What deck do I want to verify these cards with? I want to verify these cards with the Sunshine deck. Let me get those cards. The Sunshine deck. This is for my earth signs. All right, let me shuffle the deck. Earth signs. The perfect storm. The courage to step into life, into the courage to step into your life. All right. What do we need to have courage to do, Spirit? What do we need to have courage to do, Spirit? Earth signs. What do your earth signs need to have courage to do, Spirit? What do your earth signs need to have courage to do? Okay, the card that came out is isolation. Isn't that something? During a perfect storm, we need to have courage to go into isolation. Go into isolation. What else, Spirit? Okay, in isolation, what should your earth signs do, Spirit, in isolation? Okay, the card says resourcefulness. So, Spirit says during this storm, Spirit wants you to go into isolation and be resourceful. Right, and that is what this group take. Mindful. Your mind is full right now. You may not be able to come up with fresh ideas because you are being bombarded by a society of fear. So, Spirit wants you to go into isolation and be resourceful with others. Okay? All right. Spirit, clarify mindful group tank for earth signs. Clarify mindful. Okay. Your mind is full, and spirit, the card that jumped out is health. So while we are going through this storm, we have to be mindful of our health. Why? If our mind is full of fear, we become stressed, and stress deteriorates us and our health. So, Spirit wants you to be mindful, full. Have your mind full of health. That means, although we're going through a perfect storm, don't fill our minds with a lot of negativity. Don't be worried, but be resourceful in your isolation during this storm. Okay? Spirit, clarify many masks for your earth signs. Clarify many masks for your earth signs that they would have to display to an evil world. All right? And the two cards that came out for many masks are convention and control. That's right. We wear many masks because people try to put us in a box. All right? Putting us in a box, how? By labeling individuals. They place you in a box. This is how people think of individuals, positive or negative. They want to put you in a box and classify you as an individual as being such and such. And Spirit says this is how they maintain control. So This is why earth signs have to wear many masks and hide their authentic self. All right? People like to put each group into a box. Just like when we fill out applications on a job, we have to fill out boxes. How do you identify yourself? We identify ourselves as individuals, as human beings, individuals. And this is how society controls us. But we too can control the controller by wearing many masks, by hiding our authentic self. All right. How can we be creative in an evil society? All right, let's take a look. Spirit, how can we be creative in an evil society? Spirit, how can we maintain our creativity in an evil society? All right. How can earth signs maintain their creativity in an evil society, Spirit? How can earth signs maintain their creativity in an evil society? The first card is beliefs. We all have certain beliefs that help us or can trap us and keep us from moving toward creative solutions. All right? And that is what this society is trying to do, is to control us, to trap us and keep us from moving toward creative solutions. So how do society do that? They bombard you with the news. Everybody wants to be heard. Everybody is in a frenzy of fear. Okay? Second card, innovation. Have fun and experiment inventing something that surprises and has never existed before. Now, this is difficult. This is difficult be to create something that has never been created before, except for one person who are a group of people who came up with this group tank to change democracy into an evil system through innovation. And we all have certain beliefs that help us or trap us. Okay. The next card is wounds. Wounds. Withheld support from the past can cause low self esteem that cripples action. And this is what this evil society is doing right now through fear. They want to lower your self esteem, they want to cripple any action you may take. This is all part of control. The next card is wish granted. Believe in your abilities as a magic maker to manifest your wishes. They will soon be your reality. So, what is your reality? What is your wish? What wish do you want to make for mankind, humanity? My wish is that they have integrity. They're not so different from the rest of us, the people in government. Okay, that's what I wish for. I wish for a better system. I wish there was equality. I wish to be heard. But now they don't want to hear us. The last card is curiosity. And Spirit says, be spontaneous, wonder, move forward, look ahead, and stretch above your present circumstances. Okay. All right. Let me see what's next. Let's see. What will happen to the evil in society? What will be the end result of an evil society, Spirit? What will be the end result of an evil society? What will be the end result of an evil society? This is really for all signs. What would be the end result of an evil society? What would be the end result of an evil society, Spirit? What would be the result of an evil society? Oh, Spirit got to really think about this. What would be the result of an evil society? Okay, let's see what happens here. What will be the result of an evil society? Okay, let's take a look at the cards here. An evil society. Eyes of the ego rising above the fray. First card. Second card, netcaster. Preparations come to fruition. And last card is the horseman, herald of change. All right. The first card is an 18, breaks down to a 9. And this is 9 represents the hermit. This is triple confirmation that what would happen to the evil people in an evil society. And it says that in a perfect storm, people are going to isolate themselves. And we have isolation and this eyes of the ego. 18 breaks down to a 9, and this is the hermit. Everyone, mostly everyone, whoever the people are being attacked, are going to go into isolation to rise above the fray. That means they don't want to be involved in marches because they know what's going to happen if they go outside. By being a hermit, notice that this card, this eagle, has a magnifying glass over its eye. is trying to see everything before everything. They're trying to see everything, the news, media, social media, so they can rise above the fray. All right, you have to um, be knowledgeable. You have to know what's going on. Use that magnifying glass to find out all the details. Eyes of the eagle. All right. It's just like this bird, this crow up here, this bird up in the sky who can see clearly because they are above the fray, as this eagle is rising above the fray in isolation and being resourceful. Okay, let me take a look in the book, number 18. Let's clarify this. Eyes of the eagle, protection, inherit trust, rising above the fray. The eyes of the eagle offer you the gift of foresight, the skill of looking ahead to see the unfolding of destiny before it all manifests as reality. That's what we're all doing. Looking at the details, trying to fight back this evil system before it truly becomes reality. The eagle's extraordinary vision allows it to spot the tiny mouse from its lofty perspective as it flies thousands of feet into the atmosphere. In a similar fashion, you too can train your keen eye to discern the workings of humans. All right? And how do we discern ourselves from the workings of humans? That is, to be in isolation. Know that you are protected. You can fly high above the judgment slings and arrows and the darts of envy from others who may not have your great wings and are still arguing with the pigeons over crumbs. All right? We're all arguing because an evil society only gives you crumbs. It says, trust that you are ready for whatever fortune has placed before you, even if you feel not yet properly properly equipped to meet its challenge. All right? You willingly Your willingness to say yes to spirit has nothing to do with how well outfitted you are. Hesitating, on the other hand, will suck the air from under your wings and make you lose altitude. You are called now to trust your heart and your instincts to move fearlessly and not waver. The time is right, and no harm can come your way if your motives are pure and you act courageously. And that is noted on this bird, the courage to step into life and rise above the fray. All right. The second card, the netcaster. Preparations come to fruition. 42. 42 breaks down to a 6, and 6 represents the major arcana, the lover. All right. Or your loved ones. Preparations come to fruition, a surprise, a result beyond expectations. So, what will be the result of this evil system? And it says, the netcaster arrives to tell you to stop praying for the fish. They have arrived, and it's time that you cast your net, lest they swim away. So that means the netcaster, it's time to prepare and collect your food. All right? Put down the prayer beads and open your arms and your heart to rewards beyond measure. Cast your net. So it's time to go out and harvest, collect your food, and store it up while you are in this state of isolation. And remember, yeah, here you go. It says, remember that the fish or the food wait for no one. So time is of the essence. Heaven and earth are in perfect alignment for your victory. The stars are positioned for success. The only one who can spoil the perfection of the moment is you. If you ask, do I really deserve this? Will sabotage the magic and shatter the crystalline flawlessness of the now. The netcaster also arrived to bring you bad news, to tell you that you have been snarled in someone's trap and must wiggle free. Right now, it feels uncomfortable enough, even as the net begins to tighten around you. Do not wait until it is suffocating you before realizing you must escape and run for your life. It is still early enough to exit gracefully. All right? So, Spirit is saying go into isolation, be resourceful, gather your food because it may not be there. Lord, this is really something. All right. And then the last card is the Horseman, Herald of Change. Yes, there is a big change taking place in this perfect storm. All right. This card is 30 that breaks down to a 3, and it is the Emperor. So the Emperor is the person in charge of your circle, okay? And it is time for the Emperor to bring about change, all right? Let me clarify that. Spirit, what does, what can this Emperor do to bring about change, Spirit, in an evil system? What can this Emperor do to bring about change in an evil system? All right. First card, the Emperor needs to be optimistic, not doom and gloom. You have to be optimistic about any and all situations. Look on the brighter side. Something could change. Something will change if you remain optimistic about this evil society. How can this emperor bring about change, Spirit? All right, we're talking about the emperor within your circle, not the one who thinks they are a king, but all emperors within your circle are kings. They are the emperor, all right? And the emperor has the power. And here within these doors is the sun and the moon. So the emperor is optimistic and can reveal or illuminate a, a vision of change. All right. And let's see, what else do we need to know? All right. So, what I have read applies to all signs. All right. But let me go ahead. I did this for the earth sign, and I did the earth sign first because this is our planet. So, now let me go through each sign, and I'm going to do one card for each sign. Okay. Earth, so that means 4 cards. One card for earth signs, one card for fire signs, one card for water signs, and one card for air signs. All right, Spirit. How can, I already did earth signs, how can the air signs navigate in a evil society, Spirit? How can the air signs navigate in an evil society? One card. One card. How can your air signs navigate in an evil society? Persevere in an evil society. Okay, one card. This is for the air signs. It says Root Girl, the disowned self. Air signs. What does that mean? Root Girl. 46, 6 and 4 breaks down to a 10. 10 represents the Wheel of Fortune. 6, 46. What does the Root Girl mean in an evil society here? The disowned self, hidden beauty, the need for self acceptance and love. This is a part of you, the embodiment of a deeply flawed perception of your failures manifesting as guilt and shame. Air signs. When you project envy onto others or any emotion or instinct that you've learned to repress or deem unnatural, it it's this homeless child self crying for attention, acceptance, and love. You want to lash out, ignore it, push it aside, all the while refusing to acknowledge this ugly quality as belonging to you. Oh, air signs. Rooted girl. You feel that way because you felt disowned. Okay. Spirit, one card for your fire signs. How do your fire signs persevere in an evil society? So we see from the air sign that we are imperfect. We do have traumas that we need to heal. And I believe this is all being said on how to create a good society. Let's see. Fire signs. What card do you have for fire signs, Spirit? Fire signs. How can fire signs persevere in an evil system? Too many cards. How can fire signs persevere? One card in an evil society. One card, Spirit. One card. How can fire signs persevere in an evil society? Two cards came out for the fire signs. This is air signs. Fire signs, the wall, obstacles. Fire sign, you're putting up a wall to obstacles in your life. 5 and 6 is 11 that breaks down to a 2, and you are the high priestess. Fire signs. You have the high priestess. You use your intuition. You know when to put up a wall when obstacles come around, fire signs. And here, the second card is the wailing tree. It breaks down to a 14. And this is temperance, the wailing tree, reconciliations. Now, fire signs. When you come into obstacles, you put up a wall. You don't want to deal with any obstacles. But the wailing tree speaks of reconciliations, and this is patience. You have to have patience when putting up a wall. When you have to have patience when it comes to obstacles. Now let's take a look at the first card, the wall. 56. The wall, obstacles, being inconvenienced by life, detours, and non action. That's right. Fire signs, you put up a wall when obstacles arise. You go. You go into non action because you have the patience. All right. There are moments in your life when you are so geared up, so sure that you are on track with such drive and momentum that you are shocked and confused when you encounter a wall. Okay? This unpredictability occurs outside your ability to plan, regardless of if you've done everything right in alignment with the divine. It's imperative that you change your attitude now. This temporary roadblock is not an obstacle to blast through. This is not an invitation to push harder, cancel other plans, or worry about who will win or lose. This is a stopping point to enable you to slow down and contemplate the part of the manifesting equation that you and everyone else forgets. So, spirit is putting up a wall because spirit wants you fire signs to slow down before your fire go out. And that, yeah, that's what that is. But spirit wants you to realize that this place, a temporary non-action, is exactly meant to be for you. So this is your time of non-action, fire signs. All right, just go into isolation. All right, and let's take a look. The wailing tree, reconciliations. The wailing tree speaks of grief and mourning, a time of necessary losses and reconciliations. One important thing to consider before you make any changes is that you need to allow yourself to feel your disappointment, your loss, and mourn what was and what could not be. This is a way to honor your experience, to give yourself time to consider all the gifts in it, to put proper closure on it, to really know what you have learned as you walked away from it and into something new. So we're all trying to walk away from it and create something new. But fire signs, Spirit says, it's time for you to slow down. Okay, let's take a look at our water signs. Water signs, Spirit. How can water signs navigate or persevere in an evil society? One card. One card for the water signs. How can the water signs persevere in an evil society, Spirit? How can the water signs persevere in an evil society? And your sign well sung, resonating, and the water came out. 6 plus is 61, breaks down to a 7. The major arcana is the chariot, and that's your card, water signs. You are singing a well song, resonating with people, resonated with your group, with other water signs. You have dragons protecting the future and deep, quiet meditation and stillness in your emotions. Water represents emotions. So, this is you're moving forward in your emotions, resonating with your circle or people who are like you. The second card is the dragon's hoard, protecting the future. You are protecting the future, water signs. This is a 12, breaks down to a 3, and this is the emperors protecting the future. So the water signs are going to be protecting the future. But now there's deep, quiet meditation and stillness. And this is all. So the water signs, everybody's going into isolation. Isolation basically is being with oneself, being with your circle, and meditating in the stillness so you can become clear minded in what to do. So, water signs are in deep quiet, fire signs were told to rest, and air signs want to be recognized. Okay, let's take a look. Water signs, fire sign. We did the water sign, fire signs, air signs, and what's the next one? Just left my head. Earth, water, fire, air. We did all of them. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it helped. And if you enjoyed it, please press the thumbs up. This is a live video. Join Spiritual Revelations Tarot. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.